Okay, so today you're classifying angles, which you learned in elementary school, and now you're solving for angles, and you will be doing 1- and 2-step equations in order to solve. All right, so we're going to fill in the blanks with the information needed. Acute angles are just cute, meaning they are less than 90. Okay, copy all this, the purple, down, and make sure you understand all of that. So when you're going over this, pause it when you need to, but to go over this, I want you to put a star next to vertical angles and adjacent angles, because those are new for you. Complementary angles and supplementary angles, because those are the only 4 that are new. All the other definitions are something we've already learned. And you will start triangles, these 2 down here, you're going to start triangles tomorrow. So we're just having the vocab all on one sheet. So let's go over the ones that I want you to make sure you understand. Vertical angles are across from each other. So if this one is 50 degrees, this one is 50 degrees, because vertical angles are equal. They're equal to each other. If this one is then 130, this one across from it is 130 also, because the ones across are equal. Vertical, I think of this V right here, is the same size as this V. So they are the same. It forms an X, so just look for an X. Adjacent angles mean, over on this side, they mean they actually share this ray right here. So this angle shares that side, and this angle shares that side. So they are adjacent. Y'all are sitting adjacent, meaning next to each other. Complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So these 2. If this was a 50, this would be a 40, because they add up to 90 degrees. Supplementary angles add up to a straight line. So everything's on the other side of a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So if this one is 140, this one is 40, because they add up to 180. Now make sure you have copied all the purple down, so pause if you need to. Okay, first thing, let's put a right angle right here in the number 1. So please add that 90-degree angle. So angle 1 is 90 degrees. Now, before we start classifying is one of the 4 that you have starred. So keep that out. It's complementary, supplementary, and then vertical or adjacent. So we have this right here. First step, identify your X. Find that X and highlight it on your paper. So that X tells you your vertical angles. It shows them. It also identifies this 90-degree angle, so that means 6 is also 90 degrees. So this one's 90 and that one's 90. And then let's go through the rest. So let's start identifying. Now spell these out correctly, because you have the sheet right next to you, and let's identify each shape. So each one of these, angle 4 and 5 are vertical to angle 1. They're across from each other, so that means they are also add up to 90 degrees. When 2 angles add up to 90 degrees, that means they are complementary, and spell it correctly. Now they're also next to each other and they share this ray, so they are also adjacent to each other. Next, let's look at 1 and 6. 1 and 6, this is 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees. 90 plus 90 is 180, so those are supplementary angles. And they also share this line in between them, so they are adjacent also. Okay, next one, angles 3 and 4. This angle right here. If you were to have a corner of a piece of paper and shove it in there, this angle is not equal to the corner of a piece of paper. It's actually an acute angle. So those are not complementary or supplementary, because they don't add up to 90 or 180. But they do share this side. So these are just adjacent angles. They are not complementary or supplementary. They're just adjacent. Okay, number 4. Which angles are vertical? Now, vertical angles, again, are the red. They are the X. So you look at your X in red, and you're going to identify the across angles. So here is your big red, right here again, and you're looking at the ones across. So 6 is actually vertical to 2 and 3. So what you write, and I'm going to write it over here, angle 6 equals angle 2 plus angle 3. They add up together. Also, let's look at angle 1. Angle 1 is equal to angle 4 and angle 5 added up together. So let's go through that. Angle 6 right here is the same exact thing as the other side of the X, which is these 2, 2 and 3. Angle 1 over here is the same as angle 2 and 4 because it's the other side of the red X. So those two add up to 90. And those make them vertical angles. Okay, these I want you going through and then trying and identify them all by yourself. Your first step is to find out if they are complementary, supplementary, or neither. So you're going to identify complementary, supplementary, neither, complementary, supplementary, or neither, and again, complementary, supplementary, or neither. Then you're going to decide if it's vertical or adjacent. So this one is a vertical or adjacent or neither. Vertical, adjacent, or neither. Vertical, adjacent, or neither. So these could have just 1 or 2 answers. All right, so in this one, be very careful in redirections. Must write and solve an equation. Must write and solve an equation. So that's going to be the majority of the points. You got to identify them. So first, let's identify, and notice the angles are kind of across from each other. So let's identify that X because they are across from each other. So these are vertical angles. So what we know about vertical angles, copy this down, are equal. Vertical angles are equal. So what I know is these two added up equals this 90. If this was an 80, they would add up to 80. So whatever number that is. So X plus 50 equals 90 over there. And then we just solve our one-step equation. Remember our steps. Draw this. Now remember your zombies right here. And what you're going to do is try and get away from the zombie. So subtract 50 from both sides. So then you have the zombie by itself, and you're solving this side to 40 and add that degree sign on it. So it was just an easy one-step equation. So that makes sense. 40 degrees plus 50 degrees equals 90 degrees on the vertical angle. Okay, again, write the equation and solve. So what I recognize right away is everything is on the lower half, this bottom half down here. And I know it's a straight line, so this is 180 degrees. So that means 90 plus the 3x plus the 60 adds up to 180 degrees. So we write this out. Now what this is they are supplementary angles that add up to 180 degrees. So let's write the equation. 3x plus the 90 plus the 60, those three add up to 180. And now we just solve. First, let's collect like terms. We're just collecting these. This 90 and 60 adds up to 150. So the next line, 3x plus 150 equals 180. Now draw that barrier. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So we're back to the old-fashioned solving of equations. So the zombie's right here, and we want to get rid of it. You got to save the 150 first. So you're subtracting 150, and you write it twice, 2 times, both sides. So what you have left over are the 3 with the zombie equals, and you solve this side for 30. Now I don't want 3 x's, I only want 1. So the next step, divide by 3 on both sides. So x is then just 10 degrees. So this would be 10 degrees. That means that angle is 30, because 3 times 10 is 30. So you add it all up, and that makes sense. That adds up to 180 degrees. All right, so think about what we solved so far. We've added up to 180, or if they're vertical, they are equal to each other. Now you're going to do the next 4 on your own, and this needs to be finished. So if you do not finish it in class, it is homework.